Okay. What's your name again, son?
Manuel Price.
Manuel?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I got everything I need, Emmanuel, writing-wise. Wow, this seat is low. You want something to drink, man, while you're here? Okay. I'm out of coffee, and I might need some. Emmanuel, this is in reference to case number 11-6401. It's a home invasion that just occurred where?
On Silver.
On Silver? What address, son?
803.
803. And whose address is that?
My mom.
Do you live there as well?
Yeah.
Who's your mother?
Crystal.
Crystal, what's Crystal's last name?
Sykes.
Okay. And you guys, I'm sorry, let me go through a couple formalities. Today is the 28th of March, year 2011. Emmanuel, we're going to go with the time of 3:55 p.m. I'm Detective Amakitis with the Alton Police Department. I was up there at the house for a little bit speaking. I spoke with your brother for a few moments, but I've understood that your mom's talked to you and that you have more information about this case, specifically who might be responsible and what exactly they did. I appreciate you guys coming down, your mom bringing you down. I appreciate that because we need your help to solve this. Okay, this is not like an evidence case. This is an eyewitness case. You being an eyewitness and a victim. So, without further ado. Like I said before, these rooms are audio and video recorded right now when these interviews are going too, okay? What is your full name, Emmanuel?
IMM.
IMM?
AN.
AN?
UEL.
UEL, that's
Price.
Emmanuel. Price. What is your middle initial, Emmanuel?
L.
And how about a date of birth?
11/25/92.
11/25/92. How about a home address and phone number?
803 Silver.
Yep. Okay. How about a phone number?
314.
Yep.
546.
546?
8058.
8058. Where do you go to school at, Emmanuel?
Lewis Clark.
You're a college guy, so you can read and write just fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you drunk, high, stoned, inebriated, intoxicated, or any other way, shape, or form unable to talk to me reasonably today? Okay. You seem stone sober and lucid to me. Okay.
So I seem stoned?
No, you seem you seem stone sober to me. You seem completely sober. That's a term I used to use. I guess using the word stoned and sober is kind of an oxymoron thing, but I meant you look sober and you sound sober to me, and you sound lucid and you sound intelligent. So, what time did this happen today, Emmanuel?
Like around 1:30.
Around 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. How long had you been home today?
I've been here all day.
You've been there all day? Gotcha. Okay. Who else was home with you at the time?
My brother.
And what's his name?
De'Aaron.
De'Aaron? Is that the young man that I spoke to up at the house, De'Aaron Price?
The one, yeah.
He's your brother? Okay. Yeah, I spoke to him for a few minutes up there as well. Tell you what, Emmanuel, I'm just going to throw you the ball and let you run with it, man. Tell me in your words, like, what happened? What was the first time you realized something was not quite right?
When they kicked the door in.
When they kicked the door in. Okay, you're right. That's an idea that things aren't right. Now you say they.
Yeah, it was 3 of them.
So there was 3 of them. So what door did they kick in, and where were you at when they kicked the door in?
Computer room.
You were in the computer room. How close is that to the back door?
Like around, we gotta go around.
You just got to go around one room and boom, you're there. So it takes a second to get there.
About 10 seconds.
Okay. So you're in the computer room on the computer, I take it.
Yeah, on the laptop. Yeah.
Okay. You're on the laptop, and you hear it. Then I'm assuming because you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And you hear what sounds like somebody bursting through and you get up and you go in and you see what? Tell me what you saw.
It was just 3 of them.
3 guys or gals?
Guys.
Okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth. 3 guys?
Yeah.
And what were they saying and doing?
It just was like, where it's at, just give me all of it.
They said what?
They just said where it's at.
Where's it at?
Yeah.
Where's it at? What are they referring to?
Some weed.
Some weed? Okay. How much weed?
Just a lot.
About an ounce?
Yeah.
Okay. Baggy?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose weed?
Mine.
Yours? Okay. Are you selling or is it just you smoking?
Both really kind of.
Okay. Are you a big time seller or are you just selling to maybe like buddies or something
just
like that?
Buddies.
Okay. Okay. So these guys, whoever these guys are, they apparently know you got a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
Did you know any of them?
Yeah. Do I know them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me who you know them to be.
It was just Marco and somebody named Johnny 5.
Okay. Now, there's some guy named Johnny 5. Now, you said Marco.
Yeah.
Now, Sergeant Mackledon's already spoke to your mom, and they've already identified Marco. Who do you know Marco as?
I just know him as Marco.
You just know him as Marco?
Yeah.
Okay. Because your mom identified him as someone else to, or his full name to Sergeant Mackledon. Do you know his last name?
It started with a P, I don't know.
Okay, started with a P. All right. Well, I have some pictures of who I believe it is based on what your mom told us, and I'd like to show you. But what was Marco wearing, and how old is Marco?
I think he's like 20 or something.
He's about 20 something.
Yeah.
What? How big is he? What size? Tall, skinny, fat, short?
Skinny, just normal skinny.
He's a normal skinny.
Yeah.
Okay. What does his hair look like today?
I don't know. He had a mask over, but I think it was braids.
You think it was braids, but he had a mask? What kind of mask did he have on?
Just a ski mask.
Just a ski mask?
Yeah.
How did you know it was Marco?
Because I seen him. I just knew it.
Could you tell by what you could see and by his voice?
And stuff, yeah.
Okay. So you knew it was Marco?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you know Marco from?
Around the neighborhood.
Just around the neighborhood? Do you know where he stays?
No, they said he stayed on Central.
Who's they?
I just heard from a couple people that called me.
Okay. But you've run into him before in that neighborhood?
Have I like bumped heads with him?
No, have you just run in? You said you know him from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You see him out and about occasionally?
Sometimes.
You know him well enough to say, hey, Marco?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever bumped heads?
Nah.
Okay. Okay. Has he ever bought a little weed from you?
No, he never had.
Okay. How do you think he knows you had a little weed on you?
Just people be talking.
Okay, but you said there was 3. You said there was dude you know was Marco from the neighborhood. You know that was Marco, even though he had a mask on. I'm sorry, what color was the mask?
Black.
What other kind of clothes did Marco have on?
Black hoodie.
He had a black hoodie? Okay. See what kind of pants or shorts he had on?
No, I really wasn't paying attention.
Okay. How about, let's move on to the next guy, Johnny 5. Because I know guys that are close to that nickname.
99. That's a little light skinned guy.
That's okay. So you and me are talking about the same guy. When they said Johnny 5, I automatically assumed Johnny 9. But you know who Johnny 9 is?
Yeah, I know Johnny 9 is.
And that guy wasn't Johnny 9? Okay. This guy's Johnny 5.
Yeah.
Describe Johnny 5 for me. Where you've seen Johnny 5 and how you know him to be.
I seen him before. He didn't have on nothing, no mask or anything.
He didn't have. So he just came in.
Yeah.
Might as well have come in bare naked. You seen his whole face and seen that it was Johnny 5. Okay. What does Johnny 5 look like?
Light skinned, a little chunky.
Light skinned, chunky. How old do you think?
Probably like 20, 21.
About the same ages?
Yeah.
Marco?
Yeah.
Does he hang out with Marco?
I think so.
Okay. So he's light skinned, chunky, short?
Yeah.
Okay. About Marco's age.
Yeah.
What else can you tell me?
Curly hair.
He has curly hair?
Yeah.
Does he keep it braided or is he just...
No, just a low curly fro.
Okay. Low curly fro?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You know where Johnny 5 stays or where he hangs out?
No, I don't know. It's on Central.
He stays up on Central too,
He
you
hangs
think?
out on Central, yeah.
Hangs out, okay. Do you know who any of his family are, people?
No, I don't.
Okay. What was Johnny 5 wearing?
A red hoodie.
A red hoodie?
Yeah.
Okay, but he didn't have nothing on his, he had no ski mask, no mask, it was just his face and Johnny 5. Okay. Anything else about Johnny 5 you can tell me?
Not really.
Okay. The third guy that I've not heard a name or anything on, can you describe him?
I think he had braids and was dark skinned, but I really didn't get to see who it was.
Okay. So you think he was dark skinned and maybe had braids?
Yeah.
Did he have anything covering his face?
Yeah, he had something covering
He had something covering his face? Might have been another mask or something to that
effect?
effect?
Yeah, it was a mask.
Okay. What other kind of clothing did he have on?
He had on just a black hoodie. I really didn't get to see.
Black hoodie, mask.
Yeah.
And didn't get a real good look at his face.
No, I didn't.
Okay. But you think he might have had dark skin and might have had braids?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't know who the third guy was?
Not really.
Gotcha. Were any of them armed?
Yeah, one.
Who?
Marco.
Marco had armed with what?
I think it was a silver 38. I mean, 380.
A silver 380?
Yeah, automatic.
What makes you think it was a silver 380
I
automatic?
seen
You know
it.
the difference between a revolver and a
Yeah, I know.
semi-automatic?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So it was silver colored.
Yeah.
And it appeared to be a small semi-automatic, like a 380.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you tell what kind of make model it was?
Not really couldn't.
Okay. It was small caliber, like a 380, silver
Yeah.
semi-automatic. Okay. And it was Marco that had the gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he pointing at you?
Yeah, he pointed.
Okay. What was he saying when he was pointing it at you?
He just said where everything is.
Where is it at? Where's it at? Did you give it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gave him a small bag of weed?
Yeah.
Did you give him anything else?
200.
You had $200 cash in your possession?
Yeah.
Okay. 200, small bag of weed.
And somebody took a laptop.
And one of them took the laptop?
Yeah.
Did you see which one took it?
It was the one that was the, I didn't know who it was.
You didn't know who he was? He grabbed the laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. And the laptop, did he go in your computer room to get the laptop? Okay, so he went in the computer. Were they ransacking the place? Were they running around?
No, they had just wanted the weed, and then they just took the computer.
So where did you go? And
The weed was in the computer room.
the weed was in the computer room, so you went and got the weed?
Yeah.
Was the cash on your pocket, in your pocket, or did you have to go in there?
I had it
and
in
get
my
as well?
pocket.
Okay. So you go back in the room, do they go with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you went, okay, come on, you went, you got on the weed, you also got dug in your pocket, got $200 cash, so here you go. And in the meanwhile, the dark-skinned guy, you don't know who he was, he had a mask on, he took the laptop while he was there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they take anything else?
No.
Did they ransack the house, like go
No,
through
just
drawers? They were happy with the little bag of weed, the $200 cash, and the laptop?
Yeah.
Whose laptop is it?
Mine.
What kind of laptop is it?
It was a e-machine.
It was an e-machine? Okay. What about it is identifiable?
Just
If I come across this laptop in a pawn shop or in somebody's a crack house or something, you know what?
They got the security number on.
It's got a security number?
They already got it.
You already gave that information to the officers
they
that took
got it.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, just in case they don't put it in the report, tell me again, what about this am I going to be able to use to identify it as yours?
It was just black. The sticker on when you flip it up, it just tore off a little bit.
Okay, the sticker's tore off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's when you flip it open, it's got the little e-machine sticker on it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of torn. Okay. And it's all black.
Yeah.
How big's the screen?
I think it's like a 15 or 17.
Like a 15 or 17 at the standard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If I turn it on, what screen's going to pop up? Is it going to pop
My
up
name.
to Emmanuel, password, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff? Okay. So if I turn it on, I'm going to be able to identify, hey, does it say Emmanuel on it?
Yeah, it does.
Good enough. Okay. Okay. You said you ain't never had no beef with Marco
No.
before? So whatever he heard about you maybe having a wad was just something he heard on the street?
Yeah.
You guys ain't never got into it?
No.
You ain't never, okay, all right. You ain't gonna say that guy stole this from me?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to show you some photographs. Before I do that, I got to read to you a departmental form. Okay. Just hear it out. Okay. You're about to be shown a group of photographs. Before you view these photographs, please read the following carefully. I'm going to read them to you. If you have any questions, ask me and I will explain it to you or reread it to you. Okay? Because a police officer is showing you a group of photographs, this should not influence your judgment in any way. You understand that? Number 2, the person who committed the crime may or may not be in the group of photographs. Number 3, you're in no way obligated to identify anyone. Number 4, the arrangement of these photographs has no significance on who the suspect might be. And number 5, study each photograph carefully before making any comments. Consider that the photographs could be old or new, that hairstyles change, and that persons can alter their identity by growing or shaving facial hair. Photographs do not always depict the true complexion of the subject. They can be darker or lighter. Lastly, please do not discuss this case with other witnesses or indicate in any way that you have identified anyone. Okay? I just want you to take a look at this group of pictures and tell me if you recognize anyone.
Yeah.
Who? Can you circle the picture that you're referring to? and put your initials inside or right there with where you circled? Looks like you circled number 3, and who is that person to you?
Marco.
Did you recognize anyone else in that group of photographs?
Do I know any of them other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
Who do you know?
I just seen a couple of them. But
You just seen a couple of them? Was
any one of them?
Well, no. What I'm telling you is you've identified number 3 as the person you identified as Marco in this incident. Okay. You recognize some of these other guys as guys that you've seen. Were any of these other photos of pictures of guys that were involved in this?
No.
Okay. That's my signature, and I need your signature there as person viewing. And I'm just going to note that you identified number 3 as a guy you know as Marco. Just for the record, you don't need to know the guy's last name. It's not relevant to you. I know who he is. Okay. Was your brother present during this?
He was in the closet.
He was in the closet. So when shit went down, he stayed quiet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. You don't need to be involved in that. I'm going to use the time of that as 4:10, 16:10, 100 hours.
Lord, sir, where you working on that? Club fitness? Oh, yeah.
And you are technically a victim in this. Okay. After you gave them a small amount of weed and a little bit of cash, and they took your laptop, did they take anything else?
No.
Okay. Did they? Did anyone get struck?
No.
Okay. You didn't punch you. You didn't billy club you. Did they shoot a round off?
No.
Okay. They just pointed it at you and said, "Give me your stuff."
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's an armed robbery, home invasion. That's what that is. You ever been robbed before, son?
No.
Okay. You ever had a gun stuck in your face before?
No.
Okay. It ain't pleasant, is it?
No.
Make you angry? Make you angry?
Yeah.
Yeah. After it's all done and over with and you realize that you've been victimized, it makes you angry. And that's understandable, okay? What I don't want you to do is run and try and get retribution or revenge immediately. Please, son, just let us do our job for now, okay? I understand you guys are a little apprehensive to acknowledge that what happened originally, and you guys were a little apprehensive to identify anyone when police were down at your house, and you guys may have been, I don't know, were you worried because you had a little dope involved in it or what?
Dope? No, no dope.
I mean weed.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Well, okay. I'm not gonna lecture you about the weed, man. Okay. Try and put that stuff out of your life because it will get you in trouble here and there. All right. But the bigger issue is that somebody kicked your door in and stuck a gun in your face. That's a much bigger issue than anything else going on here. So, if this is all, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Anything that you think that may be important that I'm missing about this? Okay. It pretty much probably happened pretty quick. Sounds like it. Boom, 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 boom. You're in a little bit of shock. You got a gun in your face. You give the guys what they want, and they get the hell out of Dodge. Is that kind of what happened? Okay. If I can identify some other guys, or think maybe, can I show you some more pictures?
Of who?
We have to identify Johnny 5.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's his name, Johnny 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a couple minutes, man. All right. You sure you want something to drink?
Yeah.
can't come up with any other pictures right now. I'm still going to be looking for some of Marco's associates. And is it okay if I contact you later and try and show you some more pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go shut off the cameras for right now. Just hang tight. If you want to call your mom, tell her to come on down. I'm going to interview your brother real quick and get you guys out of here. Okay?
All right.
Thanks, man.